This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Heavy Duty figure. And this may be one of the more ridiculous things that they've done in this line, which, I mean, it's also one of the more ridiculous things they did in the 3 3/4 inch line also, just because the equipment's just weird. But let's go ahead and take a look at the box here. On the side, we have a rather interesting image of him there, just having a good time, apparently. He actually kind of reminds me of Usopp from One Piece there. Oh, he's also number 150. How do you like that? On the other side of the box, we get the little information tags that mean absolutely nothing to most of us. And on the back, we see him with his equipment, which, on practical terms, this just looks like the most impractical thing ever. That's all I got to say on that one. Well, that's probably not all I'm going to say on that one, but that's the main thing, is that this just does not look like something that would work well in any kind of real life situation. But let's go ahead and open this sucker up. Oh, that's different. Well, this has been one of the least fun unboxings that I've ever done. God, that sucked. Why does he have Dayglow green missiles? Like, I thought this was supposed to be more realistic. Yeah, at least the missiles fit in the missile launchers better than they did on the metalheads, where, you know, they didn't really fit in the missile launchers at all. And like with all the G.I. Joe equipment, these things are designed to pull off so you can hold them in your hand. Because we gotta have that on everything. Every f***ing gun on everything. See, did they do it here? Oh, look, we finally got some guns where they didn't do that. How nice. Yeah, I'm being an asshole at the moment, I know. But God, that just irritates me so much. You know, they gotta just constantly give us this stupid little white piece of paper with all the different languages and warnings, but they still can't give us instructions on how anything goes together. So let's see how this goes. Obviously. You know, this makes this even dumber, because this feels like if you try to pull this out too often, it feels like you're going to break this whole thing. Not a clue what this is supposed to go. Oh, let's see. See, that's weird. Okay, so that looks like it's supposed to go on there like this, right? And then it's got these two little pegs here that look like they should peg into something. Oh, shit. No, wait. Because these guns, then, these go up here. By the way, would you like to go deaf? This is a great bit of equipment to make you go deaf. Let's see how well all the little missiles fit in there. Oh, about that well. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to start out and say it. I absolutely loathe the way they do these missile launchers like this. Just This suck. Of course, let's just go ahead and deal with this one real quick. You can plug that in there like that, and you can plug it in here. And like, unlike Metalhead, they gave us enough of these that you can actually do it on all of them, but that's going to look stupid too. But it will probably be the only way you can actually keep all the missiles with this. Although that side's staying in pretty well. Then we got this thing, which loads through here. And what the hell is the point of that supposed to be? Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. All right, that's the point of it. So yeah, this is his equipment. The original 3 3/4 inch one looks dumb. This one also looks dumb. But let's go ahead and just set that aside for now. And let's take a look at the actual figure himself. He comes with 2 head sculpts, one with a reversed baseball cap, and the bill is just totally up. I need a magnifying glass almost on this one. H-R-E-O head. Red head. I mean, if it almost seems like they're trying to say hero. Yeah, so once I enlarged the hat, I realized it's shred head, so it's either in reference to snowboarding or possibly skiing. Anyway. His additional equipment here is, of course, a couple of knives, which, stick that there. They're both the same, so, you know, just so you know, it's just kind of like a army survival style knife. And the other sheath is on his hip, belt, whatever. He's got a couple grenades on a thingy going around him, which doesn't fit very well. He's got this big old stupid looking necklace thing. His alternate head sculpt, same face, but just with his hair showing instead of the cap. The original toy had a cap, so that's why they have that there. Looks like we got some new features here. The butterfly joint actually is the ripped off shirt parts, and it's actually got a pretty good range of motion there. The head is on the standard barbell ball joint, so we can get the little chicken neck thing going on, kind of. Spin his head around. The necklace, of course, shifts around. I'm not a fan of any of the necklaces that they do with the Joe figures, to be honest. Head does move up and down a little bit, side to side. Again, butterfly joint. We can lift this up and down, spin it all around. Bicep cut. Double joint in the elbows. He has a boob cut where we got like a nice spin going on there. We also have the hip spin going on as well at the waist. And of course we can twist those all as we want. Drop down hips, though they barely drop down at all on this figure. Thigh cut. Double jointed knee. Boot cut. Hinge. Now he comes with a pair of fists also, which is kind of stupid because if he's heavy duty and you're probably going to display him in this, what the hell do you need the fists for? We have some ear protection for him. Well, at least they're smart enough to give us that. However, it does not fit particularly good over his cap. Oh, there we go. So it's generally been my experience, though, that on these things, the wires here are supposed to be in the back. So this apparently is backwards. But that's not all, because they also give us Vegeta's power meter, which we can slip around in the back of his head. We got a little bit here designed specifically to go over his ear. Which also, I'm just going to straight out say, it seems like most of this equipment is not actually designed to go on the head with the hat. Let me pull that off here. So again, remember, his original figure in the 80s had the hat. This thing actually doesn't, well, let's take a look here. See, it goes around just fine on the plain head, or the hatless head, which, again, remember, this is the one from the 80s. This is the one for today. Let's just try one more time to see if we can get this on there properly. There we go. And if you do get it on there, the HUD does not go over his eye. Congratulations, Joe team. You did an excellent job on the sculpting. What if we put it over the headband of the hat? How does that work? Even worse. So yeah, basically, let's see how this one looks on here. Well, so this is what we got, right? This is apparently designed for this head, and this is designed for this head. That's it. So if you wanted to use the Vegeta power meter with your hatted head on this guy, so it looks like he's got his heads up display right there, and you know which would be more sensible with this thing as far as being able to visualize what's going on and know how much ammo you have left, you have to use this head. If you want him to not go deaf, you have to use this head. Oh, for sake. Oops, there goes that again. But now that we've gone over all of that, let's try putting the equipment in place. Slide his booty in there. Raise that up. We got the peg in the back. All right, we got that in place. Wow. There is so much weight on here that this thing does not want to stay up in place either. Look at that. God. All right, let's pull this down over his head. Oh. Oh, hey. Okay, I just realized something else, but we'll deal with that later. Let's pull this off for right now. Okay, we got his hands on the handles. We got his backpack is no longer in place. Let's get that in place. See if we can actually get this down now with his hands still in place. So you guys seeing kind of the issue here with this? Okay. Now, what I was talking about before with these really stupid things I didn't quite understand. So that's supposed to attach into here. Oops, wait. Attach these here onto those things. And then attach that to this. And that's what keeps that equipment up there. And then once that's in place, it's hard to get that in there properly. Again, I would like to say this just seems like one of the dumbest, most impractical bits of equipment I've ever seen in an Army toy line. Like, you might as well have just given us a mech suit like in Aliens, and that would have made more sense than this thing. But surprisingly enough, once you get everything put together and you get everything attached, it's actually pretty decently balanced. But now, oh, the missiles, like the articulation here now on the missiles, like you can move them up and down a little bit, but they're not far enough out to really be practical, in my opinion. I think you needed another 1/4 inch of space between the, from here to here to make this a more practical item, because it's okay, I lied about the balance apparently. If you're not touching them, you balance is fine. Once you're touching them, it's all hell breaks loose again. The arms don't sit in there particularly well either when you get right down to it. We still can move these guns here. Again, without this, you might as well go def, but this doesn't fit on there right either once this is in place, because once you've got that pegged in there and you got all this together, it's really hard to get that down where it's, where you can get that thing on, his ear protection. I don't know how the Joe team does this. Like, if I was part of their team, I would have said, hey, those need to be extended. But okay, we do have his file card from the 80s. We have Heavy Duty, the Heavy Ordnance Trooper. File name, Morris, Lamont A. Primary Military Specialty, Laser Weapons System Operator, 11H. Secondary Military Specialty, Indirect Fire Infantryman, 11C. Birthplace, Chicago, Illinois. No comment. Grade E5. Licensed to operate the Mobile Battle Bunker, Hammer, and General, which I think are all heavy-duty vehicles. A classical guitarist in his spare time, Heavy Duty sees a little difference between playing Bach's 2-part Invention in D minor and operating his man-portable heavy weapons system. They both require right and left hand independence, exceptional hand-eye coordination, and the ability to concentrate simultaneously on 2 or more complex operations. To him, playing Bach correctly and hitting a distant, fast-moving target are 2 sides of the same coin. It also represents his cultural refinement. Can I just say, can you play Bach on a guitar? Just seriously. Let's say you zap a laser-guided missile at a tank. You try to keep your laser-guided designator dot on that tank for the entire run of the missile while that tank commander is popping caps at you. If you move, the laser dot disappears from the tank and your missile wanders astray. Heavy Duty carries enough extra firepower to shut down the enemy while his missiles are running, and Heavy Duty doesn't duck for anybody. So, I don't know. Like, I suppose the concept is kind of cool, but this just really does feel like an absolutely impractical set of equipment. Although, let's go ahead and try these out here because, like I said, with Metalhead, all this stuff wasn't particularly compatible with it when it gave us all the little doodads to attach. And I don't think they gave us enough for everything anyway. In this case, at least they gave us enough to put all the missiles in. This guy's going to take up a whole lot of real estate on your display if you're using this equipment. And without the equipment, there's almost no point. And I'm not sure why they decided to match the color of the missiles with his hat, especially since they gave us a hat without the hat. And again, remember, the Vegeta style power monitor, or heads-up display in this case, is not compatible with that hat. The ear protection is not compatible with this head. So why? And then we got a set of fists, which again, what are you going to use them for? Because you've got this thing. Because who's going to buy this figure and just display him by himself without his equipment? Just seriously, I don't think anybody's going to do it that way. It would have been nice if they'd given us instructions. Like, I was mocking some of this earlier, but now at least I see how practical this part actually was once I knew how it worked. So I'm not too prideful not to admit that I made a mistake. But again, this is just impractical. You know, you've got this thing, it moves up and down a little bit here, but it's scraping against all of that. You've got a handle here so you can take it off and put it in his hand if you really want to. But I swear to God, it feels like it's going to break every time you try to take it off. Well, those guns aren't supposed to move, and look what I just did. This is going to be like the smallest picture show at the end of this video that I've ever done. Because I don't know if I'm taking him out of here. Well, I'm going to have to just to transport him. But, yeah. I just think they needed to have this about a 1/4 inch out. And that would have made more sense. Like, yeah, like the guns here. You know, they have the nice little stem that goes all the way out there so that they have a lot more freedom of movement. He doesn't have this here. This is going to make him deaf without the headphone. Fuck. This is going to make him deaf without the head protection. And let's be perfectly honest. This is probably going to heat up quite a bit if it's launching missiles. Not that it matters, because, I mean, he's only got like 4 missiles in each, because, let's be honest, it's not like these things are supposed to hold more than that, but this is G.I. Joe, so it probably does. But yeah, once his hand touches that, he's going to burn himself. Not sure how much ammo is supposed to be in here. Although, we do have this little controller thing in the back. So apparently, if a Cobra Trooper comes up behind them, punches in the code, he can stop them from working. But yeah, I mean, once you fire the missiles and the ammo's out, what do you do then? You got nothing, and you got a big, heavy piece of equipment on you. Like, I can't even say this looks cool, because I don't think it does. But why don't you guys tell me what you think in the comments below? Do you find this to be as impractical as I do? Do you hate the packaging? Man, I hated the way that was packaged. I have never disliked unboxing something so much in my life. Okay, that Jetfire knockoff was kind of a pain in the ass too, to be honest. But yeah, this was awful. But if you enjoyed my look at it and my complaining, please feel free to blow away that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense, please subscribe. I thank you for watching. Peace and love.